My parents used to do a special New Year's Eve tradition. I've now found out the horrifying reason why. Every New Year's Eve, about 2 hours before midnight, my parents would send me and my siblings to the basement. It never felt strange, it was just tradition. The basement was massive, long enough to fit 2 basketball courts end to end, and it had everything kids could want. Pool table, beds pushed against the walls, notepads and dull pencils, a shelf of board games missing pieces. It looked less like a basement and more like a place designed to keep children comfortable for a very long time. There was always a clock. No matter the year, no matter how new or old it looked, that clock always stopped at exactly midnight. Our parents told us that once the clock hit 12, the game would begin, hide and seek. If we won, we kept our favorite things. If we lost, if we were found, we had to carry whatever we loved most into the backyard and throw it into the bonfire. They called it learning to let go. The fire was always waiting. Every year, our hiding spots became less effective. Parents learned their children's habits, so we got creative. On a high shelf sat an old shovel, its handle worn smooth. Every New Year's Eve, as soon as we were alone, we'd pull it down and work at the back wall where the concrete had begun to crack. We never asked why the wall was thinner there, we just knew it was. By the time I was 11, we'd made a hole big enough for all 4 of us. My younger sister was 6, my brother was 8, I was 11, my older sister had just turned 13. That year, my parents smiled more than usual. They told my sister something special happens when you become a teenager. We squeezed ourselves into the hole and dragged the shelf back in front of it. My brother started hyperventilating, his breath sharp and loud in the dark. I pressed my hand over his mouth and whispered until he calmed down. We still had time. I told them to warn me when the clock was 5 minutes to midnight. I kept digging. When they tapped my shoulder, I crawled back in, dust in my mouth, my hands bleeding. We huddled together just as the shelf scraped back into place. Then we heard it. A screeching sound, sharp enough to make us wince, something scratching at the basement door, heavy thuds, cracks spidering through the wood. My little sister started crying. My older sister stroked her hair and whispered that everything was okay, but her voice was shaking. The clock struck midnight. Hide and seek began. But it wasn't our parents moving through the house. The footsteps were slow, deliberate, too heavy to be human. Knuckles rapped against the walls, one by one, like something counting rooms. Then a voice drifted down the stairs. "Come out," the old lady said. Her voice sounded dry, like leaves being crushed. The basement door creaked open. We could hear her walking, feel the vibrations through the concrete. She laughed softly, humming like she was enjoying herself. "Come out wherever you are," she crooned. Then she stopped. Footsteps went up the stairs. We didn't breathe, we didn't move. After a full minute of silence, I realized something was wrong. The house was too quiet. We pushed the shelf aside and crawled out. The basement door was open. The back door, locked every other night of the year, was swollen shut, but the shovel worked faster than fear ever could. We ran, barefoot through frozen fields, down the road, into a corner candy shop glowing like a miracle. We hid behind shelves until our parents found us almost 2 hours later, frantic, shaking, pale. That night, they packed everything. By morning, we were gone. Years later, I learned the truth. My parents couldn't have children, so they made a deal. An old woman promised them kids, but when each child turned 13, she would come. If she found them, she got to take them. We moved before she could finish the game. She never found us again. I'm 24 now. Every New Year's Eve, I still hear scratching in my dreams, and I never stay in one place long enough for her to catch up.